Okay, so this is part 2 of the comic about Jeremiah. So this is the next part. So he started out in bed with Daisy, the scullery maid, and he started out eating, and then he put his food and drink down and then pretty much turned over and went on top of her, sort of, so to speak. You know, not like on top of her, just like put his arm over her like this. So his body's actually next to hers here. He's not all the way on top of her. And he starts out his signature move, which is to move close to a girl. And just pretty much just, their lips almost touching, but not quite touching until finally they do. And then he just licks the lips of the girl. So that's what he's doing here. He's licking her chin and then her lips. Whether it be bottom lip or top lip, it doesn't really matter. But girls like this. And a lot of the things he does takes like seconds. He doesn't do it instantly. Like some guys would just like go in for the kiss and just be all quick, passionate, and maybe a bit rough. But when he does this with a girl for the first time, he likes to do it really slow. Not too slow, obviously. That, they all get bored, but, slow enough that it's just really passionate and soft and stuff. So that's what he's doing here. And then the next one is he kisses her properly. A French kiss. Which is popular with the girls. Well, she's not sure about it at first, but, just the whole thing, not just him kissing her. So I'm not going to show you this while I just turn the page over. Now, some of it is not safe for work, so I'm going to try not to show it all. So he's like, opening his mouth and just licking her again and kissing her. And it doesn't show it on the comic. I mean, I probably will just, in these spaces, I'll probably just draw just, their heads or something, just to show it. I didn't want to do a whole comic page just for that, so I'll probably just do it here. Do a column here, like they do in comics where they do, little columns or little circles where they show stuff that wouldn't be shown. So he's pretty much doing stuff to her here, which I can't really show. So I want to be monotonized. And I'm going to show you this next bit because it's implied, but you don't really see anything. So you don't really see anything, but he's now properly on top of her. And that could be implied anything, he's just, on top of her, I thought he was really hot, It's pretty much, I suppose, just getting his end away, I guess. I don't know where the next bit is. Oh, okay. So it must be on the page. So you just, again, it's just sort of implied. You don't really see anything. It's just sort of implied. I just love this one because I just love his little muzzle there. So he's got a kind of longish muzzle, but it's not too long. He looks more like a fox than... He's a falcon wolf by species. I'm going to cover that. You don't really see anything, but I'm going to cover it anyway. I'm not even sure if this is allowed, really. But I just want to show you the pictures. I'll show you, the more explicit, full-on ones on my Patreon. So the Patreon link will be in the description. And it'll have more explicit pictures, drawings and shit. And eventually I'll show you on Patreon the coloured versions because I'm eventually going to colour all of these. It's more like a storyboard than a comic, I think. But I just draw these so one day it can be animated. So I can just show an animator and say just animate this instead of having to discuss it too much with them. I can discuss certain things. The in-between things that I'd want to be happening. I say he would kiss and lick her neck. I forgot to tell you that, but the bits that I said I was going to draw in the columns up here, in the empty space, would be just where he kisses and licks her neck. I just think he's so... I like this picture very much. I can't do it close up properly because the stupid thing keeps going out of focus. But I'm just really pleased with the way his face looks here. Especially his mouth, and it's so dainty. It's long, but it's kind of dainty, like a fox muzzle, even though his species is actually a falcon wolf. But falcon wolves are different than regular wolves. They have a lot of them have short noses like cats. So a lot of them have shorter noses than him, or muzzles, or snouts, or whatever you want to call that bit. Like, ever since I was a kid, I've been pretty much obsessed with, like, long, like, I didn't have a name for it, but, like, the whole, the mouth, nose, and jaw thing, which I now know is called either a muzzle or a snout. I've always been obsessed with it ever since I was a child. I've always wanted one myself. And, of course, as a child, I didn't used to know what it was called, so I said, like, to Grandma and whoever, I'd say, I want a long nose. And it's like, I didn't mean that, really. But I have actually ended up with a long nose. But what I meant was a snout, so the whole mouth, chin, and, like, nose structure would be the same size. Like, not just my nose being big or long or whatever. But I didn't have the language back then, so I used to say nose, because I didn't know what the whole thing was called. So people, you know, probably think that was odd that I wanted a long nose, but I actually have ended up with a long nose, so. And I'm not really bothered about the length of my nose, I'm actually more bothered about the shape of it. And wideness. So this, I can't really show anything at all. I don't really want to show you mine. Hang on, let me get a pen so I can just, like, censor it, because I don't really want to show my fucking dirty nails. Sorry about that, but I clean them all the time. I clean my nails all the time. My hands are always in water, so that cleans them. But they just get dirty. Like, it's not really dirt. It's more like makeup from when I scratch my face and I end up with makeup in my nails. So I'm really sorry about that. I don't want people to think I'm just a dirty person and shit. I'm showing stuff I shouldn't really. Again, it's not really detailed. I'd probably get demonetized for this. You can't even read that. It doesn't really show much, so it's not really